Hey guys, you're looking at the reason I haven't been going camping lately. This is my emergency brake, parking brake actuator. And you probably, if you've come to this video for this problem, you probably already know how this thing works. But anyway, there is a hydraulic cylinder right here. There's a big spring in here. And this piston pushes on this and it pushes this out. And then when there's no fluid being fed to it, the spring retracts and pushes the fluid back in. So while you've got it in drive and you're running, your hydraulic pump is filling this cylinder full of dextron mercon and pushing this out, and that is releasing the tension on your brake cable, and therefore it is causing your brakes to disengage. When you put it in park, what happens is this goes back in and your brake engages. Alright, I had somebody else pull this for me, and we've been scratching our heads about it because he said he thought the best way to go about it was to get a new part from GM because they're only $3,500. Well, I figured there was a better way, and I got to looking around, and I'd seen where some people had taken them to hydraulic shops and they'd gotten them to fix them for dirt cheap. If you do that, I've got a couple of tips for you. Don't call it an emergency brake actuator, just call it a parking brake actuator. And what you need to do is mount this in a vise and then get a big wrench and twist this off, and then your cylinder is inside there. What you want to do then is take these bolts off. Don't take these off because there's a spring in there that says it'll kill you. But then this part just comes off, and you can see your piston in there. There's a little plastic ring that keeps your piston from rubbing on the inside of the metal. So just take note of the orientation of that little plastic ring that goes around there, and you can pop your piston out of there. And here's what mine looked like. So I just took this part to another hydraulic shop, disassembled, and said, "Look, here's what I have." And he said, "Okay." He took a screwdriver and he popped the bad seal off. He went over to a parts bin, pulled out a new seal, popped it on there, and handed it back and said, "That'll be $20. I said, "Thank you very much." I paid the man, and I came back here and I put it back together. So that's the short and skinny of the whole ordeal. All right, well, I hope that you find this before you go through all the hassle that everyone else has in dealing with one of these. Now, another thing is, I did notice that it was really nasty in there. Some water had gotten in there, and on the bottom of it, it was a little rusty. So I said, "Hey, do you think that little bit of rust is going to affect that seal?" And he took a look at it, and he just took some emery cloth and swiped the inside of it, and hopefully it's good for another 20 years. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Later.